So it's show day and I have the entire day off work. Woo. So I had a bit of a lie in and caught up on my sleep and feeling all right today. My feet don't hurt, which is good. And my back doesn't hurt, which is also good. And apart from a little zit that I have on the side of my neck that looks like a new head growing, I'm slapping on the anti-bac and hoping it will go away because it's quite painful actually. I'm ready to go. My nails, predictably, I've sort of scuffed them a little bit, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a touch up in a minute. I've run a couple of numbers that weren't really sticking well enough, but now it's time to just chill out and not worry about anything, because even if I and the cast and everything goes as well as we possibly can do it, even if it's absolutely word for word perfect all the way through, I am still not going to be happy with my performance. I never am. Whatever. So yeah, today is just, I'm going to relax this afternoon. I'm just going to decompress a little bit, have a nice hot shower before I go over to the theatre, have a nice big hammy sammy, no milk, and just make sure I'll take an antacid because there's nothing worse than having heartburn all the way through a show, and just try and enjoy the experience and learn from it. I've been doing this for a while now, and every new show I do, I have something else to take away from it. Not just in my performance, which is never good enough, let's face it, but things like how to talk to the other cast members when you're not part of the cast, but they're very welcoming anyway. How to deal with just the things that come up in a theatre, but then as well how you interacted yourself with the cast, and just all of those things that are all learning experiences, so that next time you'll either do it the same or you'll do it differently depending on how well it went. So there, I'm going to get there early because I want to speak to the manager of the theatre to tout my talents to them and see if they can put me in touch with any other groups in the area, because I'm quite new here, so it's quite difficult to break into new groups that have been established for a while and everybody's known each other for years and years and years, and then you turn up and you've been there for 3 minutes and you say, hi, this is who I am, let me help you, or I want you to give me a job, basically. So I'm going to go and speak to her later on. And there is a gentleman who works at the theatre. He's actually doing some of the stage work at the theatre, and he is in a different group. So we're going to have a chat about that later on, because I know this different group like to do musicals. So that's good. It's all good networking, basically, is what I'm saying. I don't like networking myself. I don't like sort of making yourself, like bigging up yourself. But I have a service that I can offer that amateur dramatic groups can afford. So if they want to broaden their audience appeal, if they want to diversify, if they want to be more inclusive, then that is what I can offer them, hopefully. So yeah, networking is just something you've got to do. So So it's the show and I'm a bit excited. I saw it last night and it was wonderful. So yeah, I know there's a couple of BSL learners who have definitely got in touch with me and said that they've got tickets. But apart from that, I don't know anybody in the audience. I don't know if anybody's profoundly deaf or hard of hearing, or I have no idea. So what I do is this, and I learned this from a very knowledgeable gentleman who shall remain nameless, Andy Higgins, and he basically taught me this. Some professional theatrical interpreters, they go onto the stage, they do the performance, and then they leave. That's it. That's what they do. That's what they're being paid to do, and good for them. But if you are in this game to bring the theatre, to open the theatre to as wide an audience as possible, and especially the deaf audience, if you're a sign language translator, then you need to serve that audience, and serving that audience does not start when the overture starts, and it does not end when the curtain closes. And I never thought of that before, but now it's something that I also put into part of show night. And that is, I stand in the approximate area of where deaf people have bought tickets. It's usually stage right. Is it stage right, stage left? I don't know. Where the audience is, there's the stage. They sit on the left-hand side because that's where I'm going to be standing. So this is where the bulk of people will sit who want the sign language interpreter to be able to see both. So I will stand in that area, and if I pick up on somebody, I'm a bit of a nosy, if I pick up on somebody who's chatting in BSL and what have you, I'll go over to them and I will introduce myself to them and I will tell them where I'm standing, what have you, and just try to facilitate them enjoying the show. After the show, I will also go and ask them if they enjoyed the show, if they had any feedback for me, and just to help me do better for the next lot. You know, if somebody says to me, well, actually, you use too many Northern regional signs and we don't understand that. That's I'm very sorry about that for this show, but I can now take that on board and decide to either learn some Southern, this region's signs, some Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire signs, or not. It's up to me. I'm not the sort of person who thinks, well, they're getting it for free, so take what you get. I have always been of the opinion that I want to do my absolute best for the deaf audience. Hearing audience can take care of themselves. Deaf audience, that's who I am there for. That's my job. It's my job to make sure that they have a great show. So that's what I will do. I will look after them from start to finish. And when I say look after, that's not patronising. I just mean I want to make sure that they are not ignored, as is often the case with deaf people. So yeah, show night. Bit excited, bit nervous. We'll just see how it goes. And this is my first show back after 2 years off after COVID. And everybody is feeling the same way. You know, everybody's just so grateful to have a show and to be on stage and to be able to go to the theatre. The audience last night was mostly older people who no doubt have been shielding, were just really, really glad to get out and go to the theatre. It was brilliant. So yeah, I don't think we've got a full house tonight. I don't even think it's half full, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that I feel that the pressure's off. I just feel like it's a shame for the cast because they've worked really, really hard and I've worked hard. And it's a shame that we don't have a packed house, but it is what it is, as they say on Love Island, which I've never watched, let's face it. So I'm just going to go and chill out now, read a book for a bit, listen to some music, and then go over to the theatre later on, do what I need to do, and just try and get as much as I can out of the experience, enjoy it. Hopefully the deaf audience will enjoy what I'm doing and will give me some nice feedback or constructive feedback anyway. A lot of the time when you do an amateur show, especially when I was doing this up north, because local theatre was starved for inclusivity, you would say to a deaf person afterwards, like, can I have some feedback? And they would tell you, oh yeah, you're fantastic. And that was all that they would say. And I was a bit confused by that at first, but now it's just because they were so starved for anything that they could go and watch that anything was better than nothing. And I understand that now. I didn't then. I was like, oh yeah, well, cheers, thanks. But no, I understand that now. And it's wrong that a deaf audience should be so grateful to anyone standing there to include them. Even if that person is rubbish, they shouldn't have to feel grateful that groups are paying lip service to them. This should be a service that is delivered. But of course, it's all about the money and nobody has any. So that's why us volunteers do our thing, and we do a good job, I think. There you go. Some are great, some are not so great, and I'm sort of in the middle of there, I think. Still learning. I'll be learning when I shuffle off this mortal coil. So there you go. Show night. Excited. Nervous. Just going to go and listen to some music and chill out. And I will see you later.